Ladies, have you ever been sold a dream? What made me think about this topic? Because I was driving home, right? And I remember someone told me that they felt like their boyfriend sold them a dream. Now, the very first time I heard this phrase for, oh, he's selling a dream, was when I was like 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, right? You'll hear my mom and them will sometimes watch Jerry Springer, Maury, stuff like that. And you'll hear these women's stories, and I would hear my mom and my stepdad be like, oh, he sold her a fucking dream, something like that. And so as I was driving home today, I thought about the one time I was sold a dream, right? So let's get into how the dream is cultivated. All right. So the first dream I remember someone selling to a friend of mine, right? So I had this friend, she was seeing this dude, right? So they probably was together probably like 4 or 5 months. And she was seeing this dude, and the relationship was going pretty well, right? But every time they would go out, they would go to like mom and pop type of restaurants. And I remember her saying like how much he kept bragging to her, saying he was going to take her to a 5-star Michelin restaurant. Now, if you don't know what that is, just look up Michelin stars, and it's basically like a what is that? Like a rating. You know what I mean? For restaurants. Now, I've been to a few 5-star, no, I've been to a few 5-star Michelin restaurants, and they really are nice. Like, they really do put on a show for you. So, basically, this guy she was seeing, he kept talking about taking her to this 5-star restaurant. And during the relationship, I will be honest, the relationship was hella toxic. Like, the relationship was really more so all about him, his needs, what he want from a woman, things of that nature. And her being who she was, or who she is, she was doing everything possible to fit the image that he wanted her to fit. So I really think they was together for about 3, 4 months, right? And so about the third month in, that's when he started acting really like funny style towards her. And when she told me about it, I was like, he's switching up on you. And when she would tell me these things, and I'll give her my opinion, she will always bring up how she's waiting for this 5-star restaurant date. I mean, dude could not talk to her for a week. And in her mind, they're still together because she's really banking off this 5-star restaurant. Long story short, they broke up, right? So when they broke up, she was pissed. I mean, she was pissed. When they broke up, she didn't break up with him. He broke up with her. And mind you, his actions was not leading up to them going to a 5-star restaurant. But when they broke up, one of the things she said to him was like, you lied to me. You never took me to this place. You kept saying you were going to do it. And he told her straight up, you're not worth me taking there. He really told that woman that she was not worth being taken to a 5-star restaurant. So when she came and told me, I was like, so how do you feel about that? And she was like, I'm just really pissed because I gave him so much and I didn't get what I wanted. And I'm like, well, what did you want? Did you really want out the relationship just to go to a 5-star restaurant? And like I said, the last month of their relationship, I mean, he was dogging her out. He was ignoring her. He was treating her like trash. But in her mind, only thing that she could wait on was for this damn restaurant. All right. Now, the next story is one of myself, right? So I was seeing this dude, and at the time I was building my skincare line. And so I wanted a really good camera to use. And he had a camera. He was like, oh, you know what, sweetheart? I'll let you use my camera, and then I'll buy you one. So we was only seeing each other so far about 2 weeks when he said that. And he actually let me use his camera. So I want to say the first month, the relationship was going cool. Second month, the little relationship was going cool. Third month, that's when it started getting rocky. I started to feel like I didn't like him too much. He probably felt like he didn't like me too much. But guess what? I was sticking my ass around to get that goddamn camera. Now, it wasn't like I ain't got no money to buy my own camera. It was the fact that he said he was going to buy it for me, right? And on top of that, he did let me use his camera. So when I started noticing the relationship was just getting, wasted time, I was holding on to it because I really wanted to get that goddamn camera. He sold me this dream on his camera and I brought it. Even though I got the funds to buy my own damn camera. So the relationship is getting more rocky, 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 rocky. It isn't so much like a disrespect, but it's just more so when you kind of realize you ain't really feeling the person no more. Nobody cares that harder. What's up? Thank you for coming through. And so, what's your name say? Nobody cares. Work harder. Okay, that's cool. I like that. So, as the relationship is getting raggedy, like I said, I'm holding on to this relationship because I'm supposed to get this camera, right? So one day, I'm like, fuck him. I don't want to be in this relationship with him no more. I'm not benefiting off of it. He's probably not benefiting off of it. Cool. So I sent him a text message. I'm like, I enjoyed the time me and you had together. I don't think that me and you are into each other. So we could leave it be. He was like, oh, no problem. Just bring my camera back. Do you know how mad I was that he asked for that camera back? I'm going to be real with you. I returned that man camera 2 months later. And I kid you not, a week after we stopped seeing each other, I brought my own camera. But I was so, what would be the perfect word to use? Me and my friend, she may not want to admit it. I'm going to admit it. When you get sold a dream and your ass sit around and wait for it, knowing damn well that person isn't doing anything to lead up to the damn dream, guess what? You being desperate. There's no way to put it. You're just being desperate. You may want to say to yourself, oh no, I'm not being desperate. If somebody say they're going to do something for you, if somebody say they're going to give you something and their actions is not leading up to what they said they was going to do, and you're sitting around, you waiting. You looking at your time, you waiting. You dealing with the bullshit from this person, you waiting. Guess what? You being desperate. Right? So when I gave him back his camera, I was still on some desperate mad shit, right? So I gave him back his camera. He was like, how's your business? I'm like, it's fine. Don't ask me nothing. You was supposed to get me a camera. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He like, you didn't buy yourself a camera yet? Do you know how mad? Do you know how mad I was that he said that to me? But you know what? When you act desperate, you get desperate as results. So I said to him, I got my own camera. Hell with you, right? Go on about my business, right? However, that situation really had to remind me that as much as I crack jokes of other women being sold a dream and they brought it, my goofy ass brought a dream too before. Another time, a friend of mine that was sold a dream, because I asked a few people, I was like, what was your moments you feel like a dude sold you a dream? So my friend was like, getting married. Now, I've never heard this woman say she was engaged before, ever. So that right there goes to show you she most likely got sold a dream. Or matter of fact, she's being desperate. So I said to her, well, how do you feel like he sold you a dream? She was like, well, he talked about marriage. He said he wanted to get married. I just did a video yesterday saying, if a man don't say we should get married, we should start thinking about getting married. He says that does not include you. That includes itself. So as soon as she telling it to me, I cut her off. I'm like, but did he say y'all was going to get married? Was he talking about him in the sense of you basically building him up to go be the perfect man for somebody else? So she stopped and looked and like, wait, I didn't even think about it that way. So I'm like, all right, just keep going. Tell me what was his actual actions with this dream? Because that's the whole thing of selling dreams. They're not really putting actions behind what they're telling you. They're just saying it. And you being so desperate, you're going to believe it. You want to believe it. You need to believe it. So what she said to me, she said, well, we just talked about it. He said how he would like to have his wedding, things like that. I was like, but you guys never talked about y'all finances together. Y'all never really sat down and thought how y'all lives would change with one another if y'all decided to get married. You never did those type of things. So how is it that you believe that y'all was going to actually get married? Did he meet your parents? She said, hell no. I said, have you met his parents? She was like, no. I was like, yeah. So when you as a woman get propositions with something and the person is not doing them actions to lead to that, that's a dream. That's a dream. That's a dream you being sold. Why I think people allow dreams to be sold to them is out of desperation and also your ego. It's hella hot out here. What I mean by your ego is basically this. When that guy told me he was going to give me that camera, right? That made me feel like I was that bitch. Now, have men gave me gifts before? Yes. Have men paid my bills before? Yes. I don't know why I needed this camera to define who I was. But I really did need that camera to define who I was. Not, I think, to the people that was going to buy my skincare products. I really think it was towards him, right? So when I asked my friend, the one with the whole wedding thing, because being married and talking about being close to being married, that's a serious thing, right? That's not something, you just wipe off your shoulders. So I asked her, I'm like, you don't think you was being desperate? And I'm not trying to put stuff in her head, but I'm just really trying to sit up here and get different mindsets of why some people will buy the dream. And her thing was that she was just like, well, we talked about it. And so I kept saying to her, talk is cheap. You guys wasn't even talking about serious topics to lead to a marriage. Y'all were just talking about how you would like your wedding to be. I could talk to a stranger about how I want my wedding to be in the future. Same thing with the dude with the camera. When he told me he was going to buy me a camera, he didn't get his ass on the internet and start sending me pictures. He didn't do that. He just kept saying, oh, I'm going to get you that camera. Oh, he would name different types of cameras. And I'll keep saying, well, I've heard of those, but this is the one I wanted. And the one I wanted, I think, was like 600. The ones he was labeling or naming was like a rack and up. So that was already right there. This dude was really trying to get me all tied in with my emotions and get strangled all in, thinking, oh, he gonna get me $1,000 camera. Even though I wasn't going, oh, he gonna get me $1,000 camera, I was still like, oh, he gonna get me a camera. If I could have myself recorded during that time frame, how I was acting for that camera, you would really be like, Ryan, you was desperate. Why was you so desperate? And you had the money to buy your own camera. I'll tell you why I was desperate. Because in my mind, when a man tell you he gonna do something and he don't do it, at the time, I'm not gonna say in my mind now, but at the time, I felt as though if a man most men that told me they was gonna do something for me, they really would do it. Or they'll say, I'm not doing that no more, right? But they never really led me on where I was sitting my dumb ass over there waiting for this goddamn for whatever they was gonna give me. With this dude, I personally feel like because he did look very good on paper, right? And that happens too with us as women. We get caught up with how somebody look on paper, right? I would say looks wise, 1 to 10. I'm gonna say he was about. I should have numbered somebody. That's rude. But I would say he was about 6 or 7, right? They may give him an 8 because he was tall, but I liked I liked he was dark skinned. I liked his haircut. I liked his beard. I like beards that's flat on the face. Not that. He was a good looking dude to me. But was he a fucking 10 for me to be sitting around waiting? Was he gonna be like Hercules looking hella good for me that I could want to wait for him? No. It was purely out of, this man is successful and he said he was going to do something for me. He did it. Is there something wrong with me? That's just me being honest. And that's what I really think with a lot of us women, that when we get caught up with certain men, if they did it for somebody else, you get to question yourself, well, why he ain't do it for me? Why he give that to her but didn't give that to me? Now, granted, I didn't know none of that man business like that, who he does stuff in the past with other women. I didn't know that about him. However, I will say that right there did keep me around longer, assuming I was going to get something. And then also basing my worth off of what this person gives me, right? So let me go back to my friend with the marriage thing. So he ended up he didn't end up marrying another girl, but he ended up being one of the girl on a whole serious type of tip. And so her and this dude, they kind of had social groups that were the same. And when she seen him out with this woman, she really expressed to me how much she can tell that he loved this woman. You know, it hurted her. It hurt her a lot. It really did hurt her a lot because she was just like, damn, he told me this, but his actions is actually showing it with somebody else. Do you know how much of a slap in the face that is? But when you're not ego tripping, when people pull stunts like that, you just say, we wasn't for each other. That's it, that's all. That's it, that's all. As much as um as much as we like to blame other people for stuff or say, they wasn't this, they was that, they was a bad person, a lot of times y'all just not compatible. And when you're not compatible with somebody, y'all both could look like bad people. Like, serious, I've had men cry and chew me out about shit where I'm like, no, we just not compatible. That's the issue right there. So, I know people may think it's wrong to sell a dream. It is, and then it ain't. You know what I mean? I say this. I'm gonna give you some examples real quick of other areas in life where people will sell your ass a dream. And then you may have to think to yourself, have you ever sold a dream to somebody? Now, I'm not saying once I break this down, this gives people the right to sell people dreams and do things like that. No. I just want you to understand that even your husband could sell you a dream. It could be he keep telling you he gonna put some roses in your garden. He gonna make you a garden and put some roses in it. And you just keep talking about it. He may do everything else in the world, but his ass is selling you a dream about that garden. Okay? So there's many different forms of dream selling. There's levels to it, right? Because you may be a woman that's with a man that could sell you a dream about certain things, but you already know he's selling you a dream. So you ain't tripping off of it. You ain't tripping off what he's saying. Maybe what he's selling you is not so serious that you gotta say, hey, are you lying or are you selling me a dream? All right, anyway. Okay, so a way that somebody will sell you a dream outside of a relationship, so you can kind of understand that being sold a dream is not just in relationships. I almost want to say it's part of life. A job. I was just talking to someone about a job I used to have, right? And I was saying to myself, that job sold me a dream because when I interviewed for it, they was really saying how much you could grow at the company, they really just kept emphasizing that, right? But if I keep it 100, if I would have contacted past employees, if I would have got on LinkedIn and seen that this person used to work at this place under this job title, I probably could have asked them straight up, hey, I want to apply for this job. Do you know if there's real growth there? And they could have been like, no, it's not. You're going to stay in that position with that title for however long you're there. So anyway, at the job I was at, they even when they would put up new job postings, they would even put up for the next level. It always stayed at the same damn job title that I had, right? And so that's when that moment I looked at my coworker and said, they sold us a dream, right? They told us that we could have growth. We've been here for 2 years now. Our job title's still the same. We done got extra projects to work on, and we're still in the same boat. That's the job that sold my ass a dream. Was they actions showing it? To be honest, no. Once I got in there after that third, fourth month, and I started asking around talking to different people, that's when I started noticing like there's no job growth here. Only thing you about to do here is stay where the hell you was at when you walked in. That's it. Now, I already said a little bit earlier why people sell dreams, but I'm going to give you a little bit more detail because this is a part that I actually wrote down. So why do people sell dreams? Even when jobs, right? Why do people sell you a dream about something? It's to keep your ass invested. That's it, that's all. So when I think of the dude who sold me the dream with the camera, I want to say the first month, I would say he sent a comment to me. And that comment was a comment that I've gotten from some men. And the comment is this: am I really your type, Brian? Why does it matter if I'm here with you? If I see my type walking down the street, I'm not going to let go of your hand and go chase after him. All I know is that he looks like my type physically. What are you talking about? So when this man told me this, I knew I could either A, lie, or B, tell the truth. I said I'm going to tell the truth, which I probably should have fucking lied. I would never forget when I told him the truth. I said, well, I mean, I would say skin tone you are because I like dark-skinned men. I don't care whether you're short or tall. It's not a big deal. As long as you got some confidence. Your body is nice. Not to be mean, it could be way better if you wanted to work out. I mean, I could say the same thing for myself sometimes. And he was like, oh, okay. But I think that bothered him that I wasn't that he wasn't my preference. And why that could bother some people, I mean, I think a lot of us do think that we all have like a dream girl, a dream boyfriend out somewhere. So for me to say to him, you're not my preference, but I'm satisfied and happy with you, that took a dig at his ego. Now, I personally don't think that me saying that comment is what prevented this motherfucker giving me that goddamn camera. No. I think he was never going to give me the camera. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. He just knew that he wasn't my preference and he was going to do anything he was going to do by all means necessary to keep my black ass around. Now, if you can tell yourself, you could sit up here and lie to yourself and say, you know, this guy selling me this dream means he doesn't want to lose me. Have you thought about this part? Why would someone sell you a dream? Why would somebody just do all that talking when you gonna walk away when his actions don't match up? So you can't lie to yourself out of desperation and keep telling yourself, oh, he said he was gonna do X, Y, and Z because he knew how bad I want that and he didn't want to lose me, so that's why he said it. How is it that he didn't want to do it to not lose you? Now, do I think the guy who did what he did with the camera knew he was doing? Yes. I think he knew what he was doing more than I could ever imagine. You know what I mean? He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that he was never, ever gonna give me a camera. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is that this is something my father even taught me. He said, if a man don't keep his word, he's bullshitting. Right? Because most men know, and I really do mean that, most men know, if they don't keep their word, then a woman's going to doubt them. I mean, when I pay people to do my yard, and they like 5 minutes late, and I look out that door, and I see the man running, and he like, hey, here I go. I'm trying to keep my word, baby. I don't want you to think I'm flaking on you. If a man that could live on the street and run around to keep his word to me to come cut my yard and get that little bit of money, why would a man that I'm having intercourse with not want to keep his word? You know what that means? He don't give a fuck. That's just what it is. Have I sold a dream? Yeah, I've sold a dream to somebody. In the midst of me selling the dream, did I realize how hurtful it could be to someone? No. Sometimes I forget the story when I was sold a dream. But I need to always remind myself about this dream that was sold to me, because I really did lose my mind over it. Like, y'all, if you could have seen how I was acting over that camera. What's up, Big Cap? Thank you for coming through. Thank you for yesterday too. I appreciate that. Maybe one day I'll act it out how I was acting over that camera, right? But anyway, men can smell when you being desperate. It's like a scent that you give off. It's like your hormones do some shit, your estrogen do some shit where it's like he can smell it, and he just like, oh, she desperate. She just waiting for that dream to be. She's waiting for that dream to solidify. She's waiting for that to happen. Now, at this point in my life, if a man sells me a dream, it won't bother me too bad. Maybe depending on what the dream is, right? But like I said, the way that you recognize it's a dream being thrown at you is the actions behind it, right? Here's a dream I sold to a dude before, right? The dream was that he was going to. So I was seeing this dude in Vegas, right? And so I was really feeling them until probably like month 2, and I was like, God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. However, I do like us talking on the phone. I think I like the little time we spend, but I know I don't want to be serious with him. So the dream I sold him was that we was gonna get serious by September. This happened about 3 years ago. So I think we met in June. I was selling a stupid ass dream. And I was telling him, if everything works out, we can get serious by September and you move out here and boom, life is great. Now, for a second, the dream was real for me. I was being serious, but a little over time, I realized you don't really want to live with this man. Are you Ryan? You don't just I'm not a person who could just live with anybody and then move out. My rent is so good here. I'm not on Section 8 or nothing. If I was, that would be even better. But my rent and my apartment I stay at, I got a yard. I got really nice things. Like I got a whole big yard. I'm not going to find that nowhere else, especially in the Bay Area. So it's kind of like I need, like, you know what I mean? I need to stay my ass here. I don't need to be playing around. And I don't want to move out from here and miss up my good thing until I'm really ready to buy a home or something like that, right? I was selling this man a dream. Every time he mentioned it, I would sell the dream so well, but mind you, I was never actually sending him jobs. I was never actually sending him, hey, these how the bill's gonna be. It was just more so I'm gonna keep him going until I'm ready to cut him off. Right? No, I'm not a call girl. I just tend to date. I enjoy dating. Dating is supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun dating, then you're doing something wrong. Anytime dating start becoming like overly challenged, that's when you gotta let it go. But I am a fun person. I do enjoy dating. Yeah, I enjoy male company. I do. That's a Cali now. Oh, what did I say? Oh, okay. Yes, I'm from California. That's hella funny. I really said, oh, no, I'm not a call girl. But yeah, yeah, I'm from California. So that was my little dream I sold to him, right? Did he smell it? I don't think he knew what was happening. Did I know he was being desperate? Yes. You know why? Because the way our relationship was going, for him to still be thinking of he's moving in with me. Come on, dude. You got to be smarter than that. So me telling you women, now I'm gonna say this. Do men sell dreams more than women? Yes. Men, y'all sell way more dreams than women. Y'all really do sell a lot more dreams than women. Y'all do. Um, I got male friends that tell me stuff, but they've never told me some of the stuff I have to sit back and say, damn, is this really what men be doing sometimes, right? But How, okay, you said you can't smell desperation on a woman. This is how you could, I don't know if you could really actually go, but that's just the phrase I want to use. This is what I mean by that. If you're, say for instance, you seeing a woman, right? And you gonna be honest with yourself. You like, I like her, but either we could be together or not be together. It's no big deal, right? That's your mindset. And then, you start, for a fact you ain't been calling her that much. You know for a fact you ain't been taking her out that much. You know for a fact that you have been slowly just dropping off, dropping off, dropping off, dropping off. But then here she is at attention. And you ain't talked to her in 3 days. Right when you call her, she answered. You don't even get a chance to let the phone ring, she answered. What you doing? Oh, I'm ready to meet up with you. It's one thing as a man to say, I want a woman to respect herself. And then you have some men to say, no, I want her at my beck and call. If I ain't talked to her in a week, she better answer. But deep down inside, would you want your mama acting like that? No. Would you want your sister acting like that? No. Would you want your daughters to act like that if you got kids? No. So that's where you as a man know this woman is being desperate. When I was seeing that dude for that camera, the weeks where it was that last month when stuff was dropping off, right? I was the one trying to push forward, meaning like, oh, want me to come over? You want to go out? And when once before he would go pick a restaurant and have the whole date planned, now it's me doing it. And one may say, well, Ryan, maybe it was a switch off. No, that's a grown ass man. He liked to stay in charge. That was his style. He loved to stay in charge. But what if I'm a part of her rotation? Because women have those. Women have rotations too, but I'm telling you, men, y'all could sell a dream. Y'all could really sell a dream. Okay, back to this dude. The way that he was acting towards me and the way I kept going forward, he knew he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. But why is this girl still here like that? She desperate. She desperate. And you want to know what else? He will bring up during those weeks of him dropping down, like you could tell the relationship is slowly falling off. He will bring up, oh yeah, don't forget I'm gonna get you that camera. So he knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. But did I know what he was doing? No, I didn't. I really was like, oh, he's gonna get me this camera. He's going to get me this camera. When I tell you that when I ended that relationship and that man told me okay, do you know how much that cracked my goddamn ego? When I tell you, oh, I think that I really remember that day because I had my own business as a massage therapist, right? I'm still in practice, but I do more so friends and things like that now. I don't have my website up no more because I'm doing other stuff too. No, I didn't give him no desperate cheeks, but I was really giving him my time and energy, hoping and praying and hoping I was gonna get that damn camera. Okay, but anyway, when when he told me okay, I got my ass. I had my last client, right? Wrapped that client up. I set my ass on that massage table, and I literally cried. And why did I cry? Because I was desperate. I was desperate as hell. And I knew that I was desperate as I was crying. I was like, he tricked you. He got you. You set your black ass around being nice to this dude, being overly nice to this dude, knowing deep down inside you wasn't that much interested in him no more. You knew that, Ryan. You knew that. You sent your ass in the house. That motherfucker told me he liked the peach cobbler. I made that man 2 peach cobbler pies. That's how desperate I was for that camera. Now, I want to repeat again. I had the money for the camera. But I was building myself up. I was building my self-esteem, who I was as a woman, based off of this man buying me something. That really happens. I can admit to that. You think everybody else admit to that? No, but they don't have to. I can admit to my own desperateness. That's just what it was, right? I've never seen this dude again. Till, like I said, I kept his camera an extra 2 months. When he wrote me back, when I told him, okay, it's over, and he told me, okay, just don't forget the camera. That's why I cried so hard that day, because I felt like, damn, bitch, he don't even care. He don't even care. That man said, okay, just give me the camera. When I tell you, when I held onto that camera for 2 extra months, I wanted to break it. I don't know what I was doing holding on to that camera. I don't know if I was hoping and praying that he was gonna say you can have it, even though I end up buying my own camera. But this is where your ego could really get your ass in trouble. When I'm telling you, your ego could get you in some trouble, it could get you in it could get you out of trouble, and it could get you into trouble. I when I met, I couldn't even see him face to face to give it to him. That's how angry I was. So I actually dropped off at his house. I took a picture of it good because I was like, this motherfucker would try to say I did something to his camera or something stupid. So I took pictures of the camera, dropped it off to him in front of his door. I was so immature because I really couldn't face that man. And I couldn't face him because once again, I entangled my self-worth, my self-esteem, my self-confidence with him giving me that camera. Your self-esteem, your self-confidence, that self, that comes from you. I forgot how it works. Maybe I'll do a video of how, the difference from self-esteem and self-worth. That's two different things. So, all in all, he got his camera back. That shit impacted me for like 7 months. I kid you not. 7 months, I bitched them on to people about this man and this camera. Now, the messed up part about it, I guess my friends didn't really give a damn because they let me do it. They were supposed to tell me, Ryan, you tripping, you being desperate. But no one told me, Ryan, what are you doing? You just brought your own camera. Get that man back his camera and leave him alone. I hope August and Jada end up in this damn chat. That's somebody else too. Did Jada Pinkett sell August Ostina a dream? So I also want to put out there, I want to repeat this again because, it's good to recognize somebody selling you a dream, but you don't need to walk around hella irritated about it due to the fact that, like I said, everyone does it in their own slightly way. It's like a mama talking to their kid and keep trying to have them do something for them, and they like, oh, baby, I'm going to go get you those popsicles pretty soon. It's day 3. Mom, did you get the popsicles yet? Well, did you do this, that, and the third? Yeah, I did do my homework. Well, yeah, you keep doing your homework for the rest of the week. I'm gonna get you the popsicles. And you're like, well, she said you gonna get the popsicle 2 days ago. If I did my homework, I did the homework. So there's many different styles of people selling dreams. Can dreams be hurtful when you sold? Yes, because like I'm not what I was on some desperate shit. So I can't really speak on my stuff really hurting. I already knew I didn't want to be with that man no more. I was trying to walk away with that fucking camera. He was smart enough to sense Ryan don't really want to be with me. She want me, but she don't really want to be with me. I'm not giving her that camera. I'm not about to lose out on $600. She go about her way, make that money off that camera, and me and her no longer in contact. So you also got to pay attention to that too as a woman. If you are feeling like somebody's selling you a dream, right? Sometimes you got to look at yourself and say, does this man see me and him as being compatible? Do I myself see me and this man being compatible? Because you may not see it, but he do. And some men like to protect their money. They like to protect their time. They like to protect their little bullshit that they got. So for them, it's like, I know this girl ain't really feeling me to the degree that she trying to say, but she just doing that because I told her I was going to give her. It's like, oh, what's that thing? Dangling a carrot. They dangle the carrot in front of the rabbit. I dangle a piece of bacon in front of my dog. And he'd be jumping up. Ooh, when you gonna give it to me? That's how dream selling is. When you gonna give me it? I need it. I ain't talked to you in 3 weeks, but you said you was gonna take me out to eat. Another time that I was sold a dream, but I knew it was a dream being sold to me. I was seeing this dude, right? And his goal that he wanted to do was get married. We was only seeing each other for like 6 months, but he was really a nice guy. When I mean nice guy, I mean he was very much there for me. You know, he'll cook. He was a sweet dude. So I knew I really wouldn't want to marry him. However, I didn't mind the dream that he was selling to me because it was no harm, no foul. I knew I wasn't going to really marry him. And I know that the dream he was selling me was just him talking about marriage. Nothing more, nothing less. It wasn't like he was getting on the internet, sending me sites, sending me wedding gowns, sending me, I'll tell you this, he did show me a ring and it was his mother's and I didn't like it. So that right there, I knew this is not a motherfucker I'm going to be marrying. I don't want your mama wedding ring. She ain't even married no more. And it ain't like she not married because her husband died. And that may sound mean of what I'm saying, but it is what it is. So when he would sell the dream of marriage, that didn't bother me too much that it didn't happen. Because it's just like, I mean, I'm having fun with you. It's no big deal. But when that man sold me that dream on that camera, and I didn't get that camera, that killed me. Why? Because once again, I was entangling my self-esteem, my self-worth into what this dude is going to buy me. Now, ladies, let me say this. I know I told you that why a person might sell you a dream is to keep you invested. But I also want to say, like I just said earlier, people will sell you a dream because they trying to test you out, right? And it's up to you if you want to run with the test or not. Real question, do nice guys really finish last in your opinion? Yes, it depends. I feel like why do nice guys call themselves nice guys? Every dude I met that was a nice guy, or I'm gonna say this, every man that called themselves a nice guy, they wasn't really nice. They were, well, from what I seen, they was givers. They would give a lot of stuff. However, they did expect them giving stuff was supposed to be something in return. So I had a friend, it was me, it was me, a man, and another woman. It was 3 of us hanging out. And she was like, fuck that. I'm not going to be a nice girl. If I meet a dude that got a girlfriend, I'm not looking for him to be my boyfriend. I'm going to still talk to him. And I was like, oh, shit. She was like, yeah, I'm not being a nice girl no more. Nice girls finish last. And then the dude, he was like, hell with that. I'm a nice guy. I don't mind finishing last because they always come back. So that was his mindset, that he'll be the nice guy because once that person go off and get dogged out, that person's going to come back to the nice guy. But then that's when the nice guy get to dog you out. So from my experience, I think they call themselves that because of the asshole stories they hear. They hear it from who? Like from what people, from people calling them nice guys? I feel like even growing up, it was a dude that we used to be like, oh, he a nice guy, but he was a pervert. Like seriously, we was 13 years old calling this dude nice guy that was 16. And if he catch you alone, he'll pull his stuff out. He will pull his stuff out and you will have to take off running. This dude at that time, that motherfucker was like 5'9". He was pretty tall for us at 13. So in my experience, people I know, in my experience, men that I know that call themselves nice guys, they tend to end up being dudes that, yeah, they give, but they're giving in order to receive. Which people probably feel like, don't most people do that? I mean, if I give a homeless man $1, I'm not looking for him to do me an errand later. If you tell me you thirsty and I give you a bottle of water, I'm not thinking later on if I call you, you supposed to jump. So from my experience, every man that I knew that I'll be like, man, I'm a nice guy, Ryan. I don't know why this is happening. It's like, they're nice guys to certain people, but they're really assholes to other people. That's just from my experience. Because of from the asshole stories they hear from women. I don't know. I think people. For me, I feel like dudes who call themselves nice guys because they just give a lot, so they feel like that's them being nice. But I think in the term, let me pull my computer up. I think back in the day, they actually said the word nice don't even really mean what we think it means. Let me see. What did nice mean in the past? Look, okay, look. Okay, I typed in, I want the chat GPT. Okay, the word nice has undergone a fascinating evolution over the centuries, with meanings quite different from its modern positive connotation. I said that wrong. Connotation. Here's an overview of how its meaning shifted over time. In the 13th century, nice was mean ignorant or foolish. 14th century, nice meant the fuck? Wonton or Wanton. Okay, look, the word took on more of a negative tone, referring to someone as being overly delicate or even indecent. Told you. 16th century, it took on a turn of being fussy or precise, finicky. The 17th century, it took on subtle or discerning. 19th century, it took on agreeable, pleasant, and modern, kind, pleasant, and satisfactory. That's why don't call yourself a nice guy. Because the true freaking meaning means this. You're ignorant and you're foolish. You're running around town giving everybody shit and you think you're going to get something in return. And the law of whatever ain't working for you right now. That I'm telling you. So try not to get caught up with the word nice. I don't like when people call me nice, to tell you the truth. Okay, back to the story with the being sold dreams, y'all. Damn, I forgot where I left off at. But anyway, when different people are going to sell you dreams for different things, and it's up to how desperate you want to believe it. Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel like shit, you rather be looked at as an asshole than being nice, because people really would take advantage of you over that. What am I cooking tonight? I use this thing called Cook Unity, this little food program. And so I think tonight I got some Korean tacos in there I'm gonna make. Usually I do like 4 meals from them, and then the rest of the week I'll cook for myself. So I'll use them. Like today I had some lunch from them. It was like spaghettis and meatball. That was pretty good. So I've been using those things because sometimes when I get off of work, I don't want to cook, or sometimes I forget to put stuff in that crock pot. That's what I do. I'm a crock pot queen. When I start using that crock pot, I got Instapot. So, child, I could throw it up in there, go run some errands, come back to a full cooked meal. That's what I do. Yeah, it's like HelloFresh, but the food is already made. Yeah, I think HelloFresh, the food is, yeah. The foods you put inside the oven for like 15 to 30 minutes, and it really do taste good. It gives me a variety of different foods to try. So that's why I kind of like it, because sometimes I will get in the habit of eat the same thing for a week. Like 3 days, the same thing. 3 days, the next same thing. I'm good at eating leftovers. I don't turn no food down. I'm from Texas. I don't turn nothing down but my collar. Okay? Now, how could you protect yourself from getting a dream sold to you? You can't. People are going to sell you a dream. Everybody's going to try somebody. Right? That's something I learned many blue moons ago. You would sit up there and start taking things too personal, feeling as though, oh, this person trying me because they think I'm weak. This person trying me because they think I'm nice. No. Everybody tries somebody. People try their job. I would go to a job. I've had a job before where they was hella friendly. When I first started off, I was the only person there at 6 o'clock in the morning. right? And everybody was saying, "Oh, Ryan, you're here early." These idiots didn't even tell me I didn't have to be there that early because they like, "Well, shit, take the key since you here so early." Soon as I start to figure out I didn't have to be there that early, but I was still gonna get paid. You think I was there that early? No. So you know what I mean? I think I'm a pretty decent person, but hey, if you tell me I could start at 8 and I'm supposed to start at 7 and I still get paid the same amount if I start at 8, what you think I'm gonna do? Start at 8. Oh, you about yes, yes, spaghetti tastes good. I had a friend that I think men know how to make spaghetti pretty good. Most men I knew really make spaghetti really good. Are you gonna use ground turkey? I don't like ground turkey, but if somebody else cook it, I could eat it. I myself can't cook ground turkey. I don't know how to get it dark. Are you gonna make meatballs? I made meatballs before they came out really good. Mm. Let me ask you this, Big Cat. Have you ever had spaghetti from a woman? You know what they like to say that what women do to men when they eat the spaghetti. When they eat, if you ever eat spaghetti from a woman and become addicted to her afterwards, that's what they say. Oh, you haven't? I shouldn't even tell you. I'm gonna mess it up. You might meet a wonderful woman that be like, "I made you some spaghetti, babe." Well, I'll tell you. They say don't eat spaghetti from a woman. There we go. That's somebody was calling me. But yeah, so they say you're not supposed to eat spaghetti from a woman because supposedly supposed to put our menstrual stuff in there, right? And then you get addicted. Now, I'll tell you the truth. I had about 2 men turn me down for some spaghetti. I kid you not. They really turned me down for spaghetti. They said, "No, I'm not eating it." And at the time, I think the second dude was when I called on like, "Oh, do you think I put you something up in there? I put my stuff in there?" Boy, you are not even all that for me to be trying to get you addicted to me like that. Like, for real. Yes, I have, but from women I trust. And I know they said, okay, see, that's good. That's good you trusted. But I didn't do that when I offered those men that spaghetti. I was kind of hurt that they didn't want none. Shoot, I grew up where you come to somebody's house, they offer you some food, you better take some. So that was kind of hurtful to me that they didn't eat my spaghetti. You eat your spaghetti. You know how to make zucchini noodles? You know how people be doing that fancy stuff? Do you make your own garlic bread? Now, you ain't got to actually knead the bread, but do you put the garlic on there yourself? There's a good ass place in Berkeley, California that make really good spaghetti. Like, they spaghetti was so good, I think I went there 2 times in a row in 1 week. Mm. Let me go back to my thing, y'all. Okay, yes. How to protect yourself. My thing is who's trifling enough to put that in someone's food and no garlic bread. Garlic bread is not overrated. I don't eat it every time I eat spaghetti, but I will say that that's what I will say. It do taste good when people bring it out. So if I make spaghetti myself, I won't buy garlic bread. I just feel like damn, it's just the extra an extra spending fee and I'm not gonna eat it all. I will probably give some to my sister and her fiance though. But yeah, usually I don't get garlic bread. But if I go to somebody else's house and they got garlic bread out, I will eat it. Okay, you said who's trifling enough to put that in someone's food? Child, they y'all can't. Okay, yeah, when I phase out like that, somebody calling me, and I guess I didn't put that do not disturb thing on. Okay, who's trifling enough to put their blood inside the spaghetti? A lot of people is. When see, that's what you don't understand as a man. When a woman wants you and she needs you and she realizes that you the prize, she may do all. What's that saying that Malcolm X say? She'll do anything necessary to get you. He doesn't say that the woman would do anything necessary to get you. He just when you such an amazing man, a woman would put that in your spaghetti to do by any means necessary to keep you. Okay. Hi TMK, thank you for stopping by. I'm over here talking about Men selling women dreams. I already done ran my mouth about how I was sold a dream about a camera that I had the money to buy, yet I was being desperate in a relationship. That man knew I didn't want to be with him, but he said, you know what? If you want to sit your ass around and wait for this camera that I'm never going to give you, go ahead. I don't care. So that's really the topic of how I feel like men do sell women more dreams than women sell men dreams. I do. I really do. Um, But you know, we all sell dreams sometimes. You got to sell it when you got a job, certain things you got to tell somebody what they're going to get. And like I said, sometimes when you sell a dream, you're not really being shady. You know what I mean? I've dated people, I've had a dude that I did care about that I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And I know I'm never going to do it. So there's different levels to dream selling. You could be a decent dream seller where you may really get the dream fulfilled, but you just making a person wait a little bit because maybe you just do it really on your time. And then there's the dream seller of being like, I'm just doing this to keep your ass interested. That's it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. All right, so how do you avoid getting dreams sold to you? You don't. It happens to the best of us. It happened to me. What is the way you could avoid buying the dream, right? So there's a thing, you know, back in the day, right? We'll go down in downtown San Francisco, and the people out there would sell jewelry and stuff like that, right? And they'll be like, running their mouth. And you like, that motherfucker just trying to sell me a dream. I ain't worried about that. See, I'm not running to the seller and trying to beat him up. You trying to sell me a dream? How dare you? Blah, 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 blah. Matter of fact, I could tell you another dream. My neighbor. So I'm telling him my birthday coming up. And this is an older gentleman, right? I do stuff for him. He do stuff for me. So I'm like, my birthday now, mind you, I'll make him coffee in the morning. And why do I do this? Because he's hard to send. So, you know, if I'm single, if I got some extra coffee, I love coffee. It's not gonna kill me to get this man coffee. If I cook something I know he can eat it, it's not gonna kill me to say, here goes some food. So me giving him stuff is me genuinely just doing that as a neighbor. Nothing more, I'm not looking for nothing. But this motherfucker sold me a dream for my birthday, right? So all throughout the year, I'm telling him on my birthday coming up. And he's like, I got you, Ryan. I got you. The day of my birthday, I make it clear to him it's my birthday. And the reason why I lower my voice, because he probably can hear my ass outside. So the day of my birthday come, I'm like, hey, today my birthday. Can I tell y'all I got was a happy birthday? But I ain't gonna lie, I brought the dream. I brought it because I didn't think he was not gonna fucking sell me. I didn't think he was gonna do that. But I didn't buy it to the point where I was snobby towards him. I was just like, he ain't shit for doing me like that. Now I know. And then, you know, there are people who don't like to celebrate other people's birthday. There are people like that. So, you know, I just took it as that. But that was an instance of someone selling me a dream, but I'm not about to die because it's not fulfilled. Right? So another way they keep the carrot dangling and keep you in suspense for a better tomorrow. Yes, 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 yes. That's really what I said that earlier. I said it's like that dangling carrot in front of somebody, right? But you know what? When somebody dangles a carrot in front of you, that's when you got to tap into yourself and say, why am I waiting for this? Why am I basing who I am based off of this person giving me something or doing what they said they was going to do? And I do think, let me say this. If anybody watched this video that got a daughter, that got a sister that they really love, or just a female in their life that they do care about and want to see them grow, that would be a decent thing to talk to them about. Letting them know you can't, and I've said this to men. I really have said this to men around me. You're basing who you are off of what someone else is going to do for you. And you can't do that, especially as a woman. You know how many men you can meet that really don't care about money that could just say, here you go, and would not talk to you the next day? One time, me and my sister, we went out to a club, and we all having a good time, go back to the car, the window busted. And the dude, we was at the club and she met the dude inside there and he walked us to the car and seen her window busted. He gave her $300 for a window to get fixed. Never talked to him again. Kid you not. Now, as I'm talking, I'm like, well, did the motherfucker bust her window? But no, he didn't do that. How do I know he didn't do that? Because it wasn't nothing stolen in the car. I'm really hoping he didn't do that. But yeah, he was gone. He was MIA. He gave her his phone number. They did exchange numbers. I think let me keep it real with you. She only heard from him the next day when he checked up on her to see how everything was going, if she got her window fixed. After that, she didn't hear from him again. So that's why you as a woman, you can't even use certain things people do for you. Or I mean, you can and you can't, but when it come to men, I don't want to say they're so damn fickle, but I will say this. When it comes to men and their money, they are really their own individualized persons. And they do what the fuck they please with their money. They do. You can't fight them for it. You can't curse them out for it. It ain't gonna get you nowhere. But men do what they want with their money. Okay? So don't take on, a guy giving you this. I mean, it's good to appreciate it, but you gotta understand, money is too much like this. I mean, even when you meet a man who's like, oh, I'm tight with my money, he'll find that right woman that he want to start cashing out and blowing that money on. It may just wasn't you. And it ain't nothing you could do about that. You're not about to sit up there and cry about it. The guy with the camera, I wish I would spend my days right now wondering what he doing. But 5 years ago, motherfucker, I was so concerned about what this man was doing because he didn't give me that goddamn camera. Right? All right. The less you're being desperate, the more you do for yourself, the less you are waiting for a dream to be sold. So like I said, the whole marriage thing, that's a different type of dream, because if you thinking you about to get married to somebody, but they're really not pulling out the stunts and showing you signs that y'all could possibly get married. So that's the big thing with a dream. If you got a dream, somebody's selling you a dream, you need to keep in mind, what are the steps that they're doing to get to that dream that they're selling me? Right? Do with the camera. He wasn't surfing online looking for me a camera like that. He wasn't saying, here's the money for us to go get the camera, He wasn't doing anything. He didn't care, which he didn't have to. That's his God-given right. People got a right to not fulfill the dream that they sold you. But you have a right not to buy it. I feel like a lot of times when people are sold dreams, and it really does hurt them, especially women. When a woman is sold a dream, and it impacts her self-esteem, it impacts her self-worth, it impacts her self-confidence. Usually that dream was something that both parties knew was not going to happen. And the reason why I say that, from my own experience, even from my friends' experience, hearing them tell me stuff, it was kind of like this. They knew it wasn't going to happen, but it sounded too good. Sometimes in people's mind, you could feel like what you're doing is not that bad, that you may feel like the situation isn't that bad for you to want to walk away from. But like I said earlier, my daddy really did tell me this. A man's word is all he got. When I dated a dude, I don't think he was really trying to sell me a dream, but he'll say, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go work out. And he didn't do it. Those little things added up for me. I already knew then, he hollering. You selling me a dream about you going to go work out. Motherfucker, that's for your benefit later on. That's all. If you tell me I'm your woman and you like your woman to look a certain way, and you notice I'm starting to lose that, and you say, hold it, Ryan. You're eating too much. You're doing blah, blah, and I just keep looking at you like, oh, I'm going to go do it. I can't be mad at you if you end up walking away from me and I still don't go do it. I'm not being true to my word. I'm not being consistent. People need consistency in their life. So when a man ain't being consistent and his words not matching his actions, that's where you as a woman got to really say, what am I doing here? What's my purpose? Am I thinking that if he does do this for me, I'm going to be the most amazing woman in the world? Am I thinking that if he does do this for me, my self-esteem going to go up? That's not going to happen. I had a friend, right? She had her own business, and as I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking of her story, and I'm like, damn, she was sold a dream back then. So I want to say this, she was sold a dream, but at the same time, she wasn't confident in feeling herself enough for her to really say to herself, hey, this person is bullshitting me. That's what happens a lot of time when you sold a dream. You're not even respecting yourself from jump to not even recognize, hey, this person is bullshitting me. It's just period, point blank. When let me tell you something. I just seen this dude on the corner, right, by this store. And as I was walking, I was thinking to myself, I wonder, did he want something out the store? And then I thought, Ryan, how long you think he been outside? It was in front of Trader Joe's, right? And Trader Joe's got alcohol in there. And I am somebody, if you homeless outside, you an alcoholic, I ain't going to trip off of getting you a shot or something like that. I mean, shit, you need your drink. I'm not going to kill you for that. But with this man, I thought to myself, because I was thinking of life, I'm like, why the fuck am I going to go give him some change to buy him some drink? He could get a job just like me. How do I even know he's not even working? He could be out, he could be working, right? He could be actually working, but just selling motherfucking dreams that he homeless. Now that may sound crazy, but that really does happen. People be hollering. People be selling dreams, and it's up to the silliest person to buy it. That's what it's up to. It's up to the silliest person to want to buy it. So you just make, my biggest takeaway from this is that is the dream that the person is selling you, just does it have actions with it? If a man tell me, Ryan, I want to get married to you, and I'm saying, man, you're running the streets too much. If you really want to get serious with me, you got to slow down. But he's picking it up. He's running the streets up even more. Then guess what? Guess what? He sold me a dream. If somebody tell me I want to help you get your car, help you buy a car, and I said I'm gonna buy the car in 2 weeks, and in them 2 weeks, he ain't talked to me about the car no more. He ain't saying, he's not on me about getting the car so he can give me my money so I can go get my car. Guess what? He's selling you a dream. If a man keeps saying he's going to take you to a Michelin star restaurant, and he says he's going to do it when he get paid, his payday done passed, he keep coming up with bill after bill after debt he got to pay. He ain't even trying to get rid of his debt so he could then invest into taking you out. Guess what? He sold you a dream. This last dream I'm going to tell you about being sold, because I had a dude sell me a dream about sex. So I had this dude tell me he was going to give me oral sex, right? I know this is kind of crazy, but yeah, he did. So he was like, I eat you up, And the way he was selling that stuff, I was like, whoo, I can't wait till we get together. Child, I think we was getting together, and I was like, okay, I came out the room ready, like, ooh, I remember you said you was gonna do this. And that motherfucker kept siding away. And so I stopped. I said, didn't you? So I am a little aggressive. If you tell me you gonna do something like that, I want to put you to it. And if not, I need to get the fuck further then, because you lying. You lying on your mouth. You lying on your body. I don't do that. I'm not gonna tell a man I'm gonna sleep with him and don't sleep with him unless he did piss me off. And I would tell him that. I'll say, I'm not having sex with you. You're an idiot. But this dude, he was pumping me up, selling me a dream that he was going to go downtown on me. He was going to do all that. When it was time to do it, he going to say, man, I don't really be doing all stuff like that. I said, okay, keep it real. Is it me? Or you just don't? He said, ain't nothing wrong with you. I just don't be doing stuff like that. Now, granted, he didn't really sound like that, but that's just the way I imitate men. I just don't be doing little shit like that, man. I mean, yeah, I want you to be my woman for real. I walked my ass back in that bathroom, took my little lingerie off. It's lingerie, but I just said lingerie. Took that off, put my regular clothes back on, and smoothed on out that door. And I will never forget him saying, Ryan, what the fuck? Really? Is it that serious? I said, and I didn't say you sold me a dream. I said, you be hollering. And I ain't got time for no man that be hollering like that. So that's why I'm telling y'all. Y'all men, y'all sell dreams like you gotta use the bathroom. I can't say drink water because so many dudes don't freaking drink water. It's ridiculous. And that goes for all races. I've met so many men where I say, are you gonna drink some water? I just seen you drink juice, a soda pop. I just seen you take 4 shots. Where's the water at? Where is it? So men even will sell you a dream when it comes to a sexual activity. Now, him not doing that, did that impact me, make me want to go cry in a corner? No, it didn't. But I know what his shindig was, right? I figured it out and I kept moving. So with you young ladies, when you recognize this man is selling you a dream, now you may say, Ryan, could you give me a time point? Okay, look, say for instance Monday. We're going to use something generic of, he said he's going to take you out to this bomb-ass restaurant you see on Instagram, got some good-ass reviews. Hold on. So he's going to take you to this bomb-ass restaurant that got some good reviews. It's Monday. He said it on Monday. He's going to take you. Monday, he told you, I'm going to take you to this badass restaurant that got good reviews. We're going to go Saturday. Right? You're like, all right. From Monday to Saturday, this fool has not mentioned that restaurant. It's Saturday at 2 p.m. He still ain't mentioned it. When you mention it to him, he said, oh, yeah, we supposed to go. I forgot all about that. Why you didn't tell me? Why we didn't plan it? That may be somebody selling your ass a dream. Men are very smart. Don't ever think that they ass is dumb. I may talk crap sometimes about men, but half of my game came from them, okay? Half of my human body came from a man and woman, right? So as much as sometimes we as women like to say men are stupid, they're not. They're highly intelligent specimens, creatures, whatever the hell I want to call them. They're very smart. Sometimes, let me say this part too. Sometimes a dude, like I said, men use selling dreams to keep you interested, right? Sometimes a dude could really actually like you, but he just know he ain't shit. That happens, right? Some dudes could really actually like you and know they ain't shit, know they ain't gonna become shit, know all these things, and you're basically, it's almost like you feel like you're stuck because it's almost like for some women it feels different when a dude don't know what they're doing. To me personally, most men know what they're doing. Some of them don't, but most do, because I don't think men are stupid. But sometimes a man just cannot live up to what you want him to be. Sometimes it really happens like that. And in those moments, sometimes those dudes are so hurt by it that they're just doing anything at you to see if it stick. Any goddamn thing they could throw, they just trying to see if it gonna stick, right? And in situations like that, that's where you gotta ask yourself as a woman, do I want to be with a man that is not even trying to do more? Do I really want to be with a man like that? Do I want to be with a man that see that I want something, see that I've been really wanting to get whatever it is, and he's even willing enough to tell me he's gonna do it, but then he keep falling short because of his own self-esteem, of his own self-confidence. Let me tell you this where I had to tell an ex before, and I'm going to leave on this note. My mama and daddy did not get together and have a sexual relationship to create me goddamn God and Savior. Okay? I'm going to repeat that again because I don't know if the alarm messed me up. My mom and dad did not get together to create me for me to then be your Savior. Okay? So don't get yourself caught up with, well, maybe he's selling a dream because he don't really got it like that. So he just saying these things because what, he just wants to keep me around. Okay? So remember, a lot of us sell dreams. I personally think men sell dreams more than women do. Your job, a store, a product sometimes sell you a dream. Oh, we're gonna get those dark marks away. You put you put it on, it didn't work. They sold you a dream. The dream was you didn't want those dark marks on your skin. It didn't work. Maybe it worked for somebody else, but it didn't work for you. You were sold a dream. Maybe you sold a dream. I've sold a dream. However, just know everybody's gonna try you with a dream every blue moon. And it's all up to you if you want to buy it.